Okay. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Zeke Setso YouTube channel and the Zeke Setso podcast. I'm joined by Robert.
Movie
Robert is
Rob.
here.
Yes,
He's
sir.
finally making his big
Yep.
grand return on Zeke Setso. He's finally here to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth because that movie was shown early, but I saw it. Rob saw it.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about it. We're going to spoil the hit. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to spoil the movie. We're not gonna spoil the movie, but we're going to give
Everyone dies, Pull Mark Ruffalo.
I can't believe that part where Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man showed up. It was amazing, like
Crazy.
crazy.
And then Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom.
Oh yeah. And Henry Cavill as Superman, and
Yep.
Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. He came out in the screen and said the hierarchy of power in the Jurassic.
Oh my goodness, dude! Imagine if they took it that route. Like they hired Dwayne the Rock Johnson, bro. That'd be.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
After all the movies he's done, yeah, no,
it wouldn't shock me. But no, we are going to talk about Jurassic World in a non-spoiler fashion.
Yep.
So we're going to do general impressions, positives, negatives, and then overall thoughts and then a score out of 10.
All right.
So let's start this out. Rob, you're the Jurassic Park fan.
I am the Jurassic Park fan.
You're a fan of the franchise.
Yep.
You were really hyped for this movie.
Yep.
Just tell me a little bit about what your thoughts were going in, and then tell me what you thought of the movie.
So going into it, I was really expecting the director, Gareth Edwards, who I'm a huge fan of. He directed the 2014 Godzilla, The Creator, and a bunch of other movies. Oh, Rogue One is one of my favorites in the Star Wars franchise. So I was already expecting this movie to be not only visually stunning, but intense, thrillerish, everything you would really want from a Jurassic Park film. And that's all I was really asking for this movie. And going into it, I was also, the whole behind the scenes drama behind it, how Universal rushed out the script. Originally, they had like the John Wick director behind it or something like that.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me, After the movie, though, safe to say, wow. Gareth Edwards, I will kiss you on the lips. No, seriously though, like I haven't felt this type of way since watching the original Jurassic Park, for sure. Like I teared up, and I don't want to go into spoilers, but there was a scene where the dinosaurs were just being animals, and I just teared up, and it was just so beautifully shot.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about too.
Yeah. And so it's just watching this movie. Not only did I have the biggest smile on my face, my ass was clenched during the last two acts. Like it was a nonstop roller coaster.
Gosh, you've started this show with kissing Gareth Edwards on the lips and clenched asses. Like, wow.
Hey, that's how you know it's a good movie.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, don't get me wrong, my ass is going to be clenched when Superman starts because I'm going to be like,
yep.
All right, James Gunn, press me here. But so here's the thing. I love the first film. The first film, and I said this in my out of the theater reaction, which is up on the channel now. The first one's an instant classic.
Yeah.
I remember even talking to you, Rob, about this of like they just don't make movies like the first Jurassic Park anymore. They really don't. Just the way that movie's crafted, the way the characters are developed. Like that movie for the first hour and a half. There's like no dinosaurs in it. Well, very little dinosaurs in it.
Very little. I just rewatched it the other day too.
Yeah, it's mostly just characters. It's mostly just people sitting in a room talking. Like one of my favorite sequences in the entire movie is just the characters sitting around that dinner table and talking about whether or not opening the park is a good idea.
Yep.
And the sequels just haven't lived up to that. Lost World, I don't like. I don't like the Lost World. I'm one of those people. Yeah, I know. I'm one of those people that doesn't like the Lost World. Um,
You'll have
Jurassic
to
Park 3.
respectfully disagree with you.
Jurassic Park 3, I think, is an absolute trash pile of a movie. Jurassic World, I think the first Jurassic World, I think, is entertaining. It's
Oh
fun.
no, 100%.
That third act is easily one of the most exciting third acts I've ever seen
Yeah.
in a movie. Period. Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom. I remember watching with you, and even you were like, even you turned to me and went, "So what'd you think?" I'm like, "I didn't like it," and I remember you going, "Right."
Yep.
um,
I needed a confirmation. I literally,
yeah,
even after this movie, I called you right away. I needed to know your thoughts right now.
yeah. Uh, and then Jurassic World Dominion. I'll 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 s- I'll throw this out there. I think Jurassic World Dominion's worse than Fallen Kingdom. It's my least favorite of the series, at least.
Yeah.
Um,
It was the Rise of Skywalker of the Jurassic franchise.
it's 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Because just like the Rise of Skywalker, how the Rise of Skywalker liked to pretend that the Last Jedi never happened, this movie almost liked to pretend that Fallen Kingdom never happened, but also
Yeah.
crafted a terrible story on top of it. Anyway, so I was nervous going into Rebirth. Even though I like Gareth Edwards, I don't love every Gareth Edwards movie. I really loved the creator. Really loved the creator. Rogue
Yeah.
One has grown on me, especially after watching the entirety of Andor. Rogue
Yep.
One really grew on me. And Godzilla, I don't love the first Godzilla movie. I like it. There are aspects of it that are really good, but I feel like that movie suffers from a huge amount of focus on really bland human characters and not enough of Godzilla.
Yeah.
So I went into this, and first of all, I didn't even know what I was walking into. I thought I was walking into an early screening of Megan.
Same. Literally. So it was down to that or Megan.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there watching it, and then all of a sudden they have this intro from Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. And I'm like, no.
Yep.
And then the movie started, and I immediately had my arms crossed. I'm like, okay, all right, Gareth Edwards, show me what you got here. I don't think I've been so shocked by how much I have loved this movie. I love this movie.
Yep.
Like I can't put it into words. Like this is probably the biggest shock of the year. I think Jurassic World Rebirth made it onto my top 10 most anticipated, but deep down inside, I had no faith
Nerve
that
wracking.
I had no faith that this movie would be any good. Just
Yeah.
because of the track record of the franchise as a whole. You know, the franchise as a whole kind of has a Alien and Predator kind of
Yeah.
quality to it. Where the first movie really great, sequels kind of get a little hit and miss. Minus Alien, Alien 1 and 2 are fantastic,
Fantastic.
but. So I started. So the movie started, and I was kind of like, "Okay, well, what do we got here?" And then you kind of get your typical. Again, I'm not gonna get to details. I'm not gonna get spoilers, but you get your typical Jurassic Park style opening. I'm like, okay, all right, we'll see how this goes. Then the movie hits a certain point where I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in. Okay, I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And I loved this movie. This movie, it's so actually surprisingly well written for a Jurassic Park film. It's very well written.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that David Koepp is the one that came back to write the script for this one.
You can tell. Like in
And you can
watching this
easily,
movie, you can tell.
yeah. Oh, and you can easily tell because it's structured screenplay wise, story wise. It's structured just like the first two movies. When I say first two, I mean Jurassic Park and then The Lost World.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this movie, and I'm just like, I'm not once did I ever check the time did I, typically I'll have like my phone in the cup holder, and I'll occasionally just like kind of take a quick glance at it, just to see if I have like any calls or emails or anything like that. And I'm just like, not once did I do that. I didn't do that once. And that just is a testament to how amazing this movie captures your attention from beginning to fucking end. The dinosaurs this time around, they're very unique designs for the dinosaurs. I love
Very
that.
unique.
And anyway, I'll get more into that when we get into our positives and negatives. Why don't we start with the negatives? Because I have a feeling we're not going to have much.
No.
I have a feeling we're not going to have much. So let's start with the negatives. Rob, what were some of your negatives?
So my biggest negative was primarily in Act 1. I felt like it was just kind of, I don't want to say exposition dump, but sort of exposition dump. Right after the cold opening, of course.
Yeah.
Introducing the characters kind of felt a little bit clunky to me.
Mm-hmm.
But really, honestly, after all that, Act 2, Act 3, wow. Like, it really picked. I'm like leaning more positive and like this. It just, I felt like the intro was a little clunky. I don't know. I might have to rewatch it again.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of it, I found myself
You're
enjoying these characters a
You
lot
might
more.
have to rewatch it again. I know you pretty well. You're gonna rewatch this movie like 50 times before this movie.
Dude, I already know. I already got the Regal Crown Club, so I'm definitely rewatching it.
Yeah. So the unlimited, yeah.
Yep.
Any other negatives did you want to get into before
I
I get
don't want to say it because it will be a slight spoiler, but there was a certain dinosaur I was looking forward to that got maybe like 2 seconds of screen time. And I think you might know which one.
I think I do, but I'll have to ask you about it after we
Yeah.
end this episode, after we end this video. But I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about, because that was kind of that was one of my nitpicks as well.
Yeah.
But my biggest issue with this film, I actually had a couple. Number one, exactly like you said, after the cold open, we are loaded with exposition, just kind of in your face dialogue. Either number one, it kind of catches you up to where the world is right now, which again, no spoilers, but you kind of, if you've seen those previous movies, you know exactly where this world is at this stage in the franchise. So it kind of catches you up on that. Then there's a huge exposition dump on the mission that the characters are going on. Then the characters are given backstory that they now say out loud.
Yeah.
And it just, like you said, it felt a little clunky, and it felt a little like, okay, this is starting to get a little rough. This starting to feel a little Fallen Kingdom-ish to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Just loaded with exposition, just right in your face. And the other thing I actually didn't like, and again, won't spoil it, but there is another group of characters that's introduced in the film that I kind of thought were a little. You know what? I said in my out of the theater reaction. Again, no spoilers, but there's a family that's introduced in the film.
Yeah.
That I thought were just there for the sake of having a group of characters run away from dinosaurs.
Oh, definitely.
Like they really didn't serve that big of a purpose. I would have rather if the movie just focused on Scarlett Johansson and that team of characters, just kind of create like a really cool like alien dynamic, or even like the 99 Mummy film, where we focus on a specific group of characters, and then maybe the rest of that team becomes expendable. But they introduce this family character, and again, no spoilers, but they introduce this family group that, again, I was just watching it going, I'm not that interested in what's happening with this family. I'm far more intrigued with what's happening with our main team, who were introduced at the beginning of the film. So, but other than that, That's all I got.
Yeah, you know, and I kind of wanted to like touch more about that about the family. Um, yeah, because at first I wasn't very invested in them
Mhm.
per se, but I think there was like the one scene at the campfire,
Mm.
um, and it was right then and there. I'm like, okay, now I'm invested in these guys,
Okay.
and that for me is where they kind of like won me over a bit.
Mm.
And when people watch the movie, they'll know for sure what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um, and at the no spoilers, but like it just I don't know. I really did enjoy them.
Mhm.
It did kind of add that tense moment there because a lot of their scenes were probably for the tensest for me.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
a specific scene, I think everyone's seen in the trailers. Oh my god, probably one
I'll
of the
say
best
this. I'll say
sequences.
this. If you guys saw the trailers and saw the scene with the T-Rex chasing the raft,
Yeah,
oh, oh,
yeah.
oh wow, that scene's intense. And
Wow.
is it just me? Again, if you don't want to answer it because of spoilers, fine. Did that scene not remind you of something from the book?
Oh no, it was straight off from the book.
That's from the
Straight
book,
up.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought so because I was like, this feels just like it was pulled right from the original book.
Yep.
So I knew that's what I was. Okay, at least I knew I was thinking right because I love the original Jurassic Park book. I just haven't read it in so long. Um,
Yeah. No, it was literally lifted right off the pages, and
yeah,
it was directing wise. Oh my, it was
exactly how you.
stunning. It was intense. I think it borderline rivals the breakout scene for me in the
Mm,
original Jurassic Park. It was that intense.
yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely for
Yeah.
sure. Well, let's get into our positives now.
Oh yeah, I guess we're yeah.
Let's really delve into the positives here. Um, Go ahead.
The dinosaurs actually felt like dinosaurs.
Yep. Hmm.
It just every time they were on screen, they were magnificent. They felt like real breathing animals. They weren't just kind of like these CGI monsters out to like the laser pointer to go attack Chris Pratt. These were living, breathing creatures who had, yeah, no, seriously though, and man, it was just the way, and that's just kind of like going the the directing style of Gareth Edwards is just the way he handles the camera. He's close and grounded with these people. There's always someone in frame to give context to the size of these behemoth monster or animals, and it's just fantastic. I think definitely the positives with the characters are my like two favorites are definitely Henry Loomis and Duncan Kincaid.
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
were my probably my two standouts for sure.
Yeah. Mahershala
Uh,
Ali was so good in this
so good in this movie.
so good in this movie.
He had me just on the edge of my seat every time like he was on like it's freaking awesome. And then
He
the
might have
action
been he
sequences.
might have been my personal favorite character of the whole movie to me.
Oh yeah. He might be
Yeah.
one of my favorites in the franchise now. Like he
Really?
literally yeah, oh yeah, he made his mark and I hope to God we see him again.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will say that there are certain lines that he says where I'm like, that feels like a line pulled from the original Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
That feels like something one of the characters would have said in the original Jurassic Park. Like there's a line in the movie, and it's in the trailer where he goes, huh, "No one's dumb enough to go where we're going." I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there watching. I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty cool. This guy's pretty.
Yeah.
He's kind of Han. He's a little Han Solo-ish, but he's. You know what? He's a better version of what Chris Pratt's character was supposed to be.
No, 100%.
He's a much more better version of what Chris Pratt's character was supposed to be.
And that's not like dissing Chris Pratt or anything, because
Yeah,
I really did like him in the first Jurassic World. I just think when it just started continuing off, his character just kind of kept getting blander and blander.
the scripts did him no favors.
Yeah,
Yeah, the scripts did him no favors.
I feel like Zora Bennett, Scarlett Johansson's character, I liked her a lot, but it's also just kind of a problem with me. It's just like when you have these big time actors, sometimes you can't not see them as that big time actor.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this movie, she really did dive into that role.
Yeah.
And did pretty, I think, spectacular. One of her better performances.
Her stuff in the
Yeah.
third act is probably some of her, it just like some of the stuff that she has to do in the third act made me go, okay, yeah, Scarlett Johansson's a great actor. Like she's more than
Yeah.
just a big time movie star. She's a great actress.
No,
Truly,
100%.
you know?
And I think, honestly, this movie is just a testament to a lot of things. It was very much, everything was going against this movie. And I mean everything. Like
Yeah.
Dominions, after Dominion, no one wanted Jurassic World. No
Yeah.
one wanted to go see dinosaurs again. And I think they really played into that and gave us something really different, something very unique. And the lore behind like a lot of it and how it like kind of sets up the world of this island, it felt like the Misfit Island of Toys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but for dinosaurs. And it just like that whole concept by itself is just so freaking awesome. And Gareth Edwards managed to even make it even more awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So that leads into like my positives. First, the visuals.
Yeah.
This movie's visually stunning to look at. Now, one of my biggest props to Gareth Edwards as a filmmaker is just how well he maps out his movies from a visual standpoint.
Yeah.
I remember seeing The Creator and seeing just some of those wide shots of these big, gigantic landscapes and thinking, oh my gosh, that's incredible. Like there are several shots in The Creator that I look at it and go, I want that framed on my wall.
No, seriously though.
That's the same with this movie. There were so many parts of this movie where I was just like, I want this framed on my wall.
Yeah.
And there was one scene where there was one part of the movie where as the scene was happening, I'll just say this. It's a scene involving where characters are looking at dinosaurs, and it's this big magical moment.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, because they weren't, and this is gonna lead to my next positive. They weren't playing the original theme at first, and I was like, they're missing them. This is a massive missed opportunity to not have the theme here. Literally seconds after I thought that, the theme. They give us the theme.
Yep.
That big grand, and I'm just watching it going, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Yep.
This is incredible. And that's another thing that I love about the music is fantastic.
This is actually a reunion from Godzilla 2014. The same guy who did that music, Alexander
Desplat.
Yeah. Came back with Gareth Edwards to do the music with this movie, and they knocked it out of the park.
But man, and look, and not to diss on Michael Giacchino, because Michael Giacchino did really great with his Jurassic World scores.
Oh yeah, I think Fallen Kingdom for sure is one of my favorite soundtracks, despite how I feel about that movie.
Definitely, yeah. But this Alexander Desplat had a very John Williams quality to him in the way he composed. Because one thing about John Williams' music in not just Jurassic Park, but also Jaws and Star Wars and all this stuff, his music becomes a character in the movie.
Yep.
His music is just as important as the characters in the movie. That's how I felt the score was in this movie. Like the musical cues, I felt were just as crucial as the characters were in the story. And I was like, I was listening to this. I'm like, I cannot wait to own this soundtrack. Like, I'm literally dying with anticipation for them to drop the full soundtrack so I can just listen to this score because it's just so incredible. Like, yes, he pays homage to the original thing. He plays it several times throughout the movie.
Yeah. But on his own stuff.
But he adds new stuff to it. He adds new themes in it. He does exactly what Kevin Kiner does with Star Wars with his Star Wars scores. Kevin Kiner will pay homage to John Williams stuff, but he'll add his own spin onto those classic themes, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we got here with Alexander Desplat. He took the iconic score, but he somehow managed to make it his own and add a spin to it that made it feel unique and different. And I really love that. The performances are great, but again, I said it earlier, but the standout to me was Mahershala Ali as Duncan.
100%.
Like, he was not just my favorite character, but just everything about him, from his backstory, what you learn about him, and the arc he has. Because yes, in this movie, characters actually have an arc, ladies and gentlemen. In this Jurassic Park movie, characters actually have an arc, and there's no and I'll say this, at least to me, and maybe some people will disagree. Some people might disagree with this. At no point in this movie was I taken out of it. With the sequels, there were at least 5 moments where I felt like I was taken out of the movie.
They're alive, just like me.
Yeah. Lost World, it's the gymnastics. The little girl doing gymnastics on the raptor. Like, that's one of those moments that completely takes me out of the movie. Jurassic Park 3, that whole movie, it's Alan Grant's nightmare.
Alan
takes me right out of the movie.
Jeez. I don't know what they were thinking for that one. That was
And,
the more you think about it, it just doesn't make sense, because like Alan hasn't even seen that type of raptor yet. Like, it's just kind of like, is he having like a premonition? Is his final destination? It was a weird choice, and like, listen, I like a lot of the Jurassic Park films. I think each one has its unique charm, a unique take on it, but definitely Jurassic Park is the absolute standout and tops them all. This movie comes in though, and it's an easy second.
Yeah, oh yeah, easily. And but not one point in this movie did I feel like, no, I'm taken out of it. Even with the aspect of the movie that it didn't like the family aspect. There were even stuff that they were involved in that I thought were pretty cool. Like the big scene with the raft, and I will say this movie's actually a lot funnier than I even thought it was, that I thought it had any right to. I laughed quite a bit throughout this movie. One part in particular that I don't want to say what it is. I'm not going to say what it is, because
I feel like I know which one it is. It's the scene with the boyfriend, dad, and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, funny. It's crazy because when the first trailer arrived, everyone was kind of bagging on it about like the Marvel-esque humor, and when watching this movie, like outside the trailer context, it did not feel like that. The humor felt natural, and it felt, real to these characters,
And in the actual biggest, there's a big giant thing that happens in, figuratively and literally, giant thing that happens in the third act of this movie. And at no point in the movie did Scarlett Johansson say a knock-knock joke, or someone wasn't talking about bananas.
It took the situation very seriously. They weren't making quips every now and then. I think it was just mostly kind of like in the beginning situation.
Because even the newer Halloween movies fell into that trap.
Oh my gosh,
The newer Halloween movies fell into the trap of adding too much humor to the point where it lessened the stakes. Why should I be scared of Michael Myers if you're just going to make a joke about, peanut butter on your penis?
Literally, dude, I was thinking that literally right here talking about that. That's like the line I remember most out of that 2018 movie.
And don't get me wrong, I like the 2018 movie, but it, again, it fell into that trap of we need to add humor because everyone likes Marvel movies and Marvel movies always have to have humor in it. I'm glad that this movie didn't fall into that trap. Yes, it had humor, but it came at the right moments of the film. It didn't feel like a distraction, you know? And that's the problem with most movies nowadays. Most movies, the humor becomes a distraction and it doesn't feel natural to the situation or to the characters. This is a situation where it came just at the right moments. Right when something got really intense and scary, let's sprinkle in a joke here to lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? And I love that. It's so great. I'm trying to think of what other parts I really like. The action's great.
Yeah.
Most of the dinosaur stuff is
some of the best in the franchise.
Pretty awesome.
Like easily some of the best in the franchise. And the franchise has a lot of highs in like dinosaur action scenes, dinosaur sequences. Like each one has great moments, but I think this one, like out of them all, to be honest with you, had consistently great, and they kept like almost like topping one another.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
No, seriously, I was like, and I was watching this movie, and in the trailer they showed off the mosasaur, and I'm just like, I don't know, because again, it just brought me back to Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and I'm just like, ugh! But again, this movie just it felt like a natural progression of the franchise, and in a way, this almost felt like a reboot.
Oh no, 100%. It definitely backtracked a lot of what Dominion, Fallen Kingdom set up with, and I don't know if it's been like kind of like in the trailers or like, but basically like all the dinosaurs, they're moving towards the equator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of a spoiler that is, but it was in the trailers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all information you get in the trailers.
Yeah.
Plus,
I won't go much into it because they do explain a little bit more how that whole situation goes down.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like it. I'm not going to really complain about it because honestly, what Dominion did, they didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
They made Locust a priority.
The other thing about Dominion and Fallen Kingdom, the dinosaurs felt like an afterthought.
Yeah.
The dinosaurs felt like a complete afterthought. In Fallen Kingdom, it was like, oh, Clone Girl.
Yep.
That's our biggest issue. And then in Dominion, it was like locusts, mosquitoes, plantation. That's our biggest issue. And it's like, where are the dinosaurs? Like one of my favorite things that they've ever released. Actually, two of my favorite things they've ever released in this new kind of restart to Jurassic Park is Battle at Big Rock.
Yeah.
And that original prologue for Dominion.
I'm so mad that they cut that out. But
I am too. Oh, dude, you have no idea. I am too.
Have you watched the whole extended version of Dominion?
I haven't. No, I never watched it.
Literally added it in because it comes wrap around in the end. That's what was supposed to happen, but for some reason they're like, nah, let's put it in front of Fast 7 or Fast 8. I don't remember what movie it was.
It's Fast 9, actually. Yeah,
I have not caught up with that.
Unfortunately, I remember that because I went to see that movie in IMAX just so I could see that opening prologue. I know. My life is sad. But I'm just so glad that the dinosaurs didn't feel like an afterthought.
Yeah,
and it had the potential for the movie for these dinosaurs to feel like a complete afterthought, and I'm so glad it wasn't like that. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's get into our overall thoughts.
There is one more positive that I quickly want to squeeze in real quick.
Go ahead.
Sound design was spectacular.
So glad you brought this up. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I literally just hit me in the back of the head. Another thing that Gareth Edwards absolutely excels on is sound design, and this movie is no different from any other of his movies. The Mosasaurus, like you literally felt the tremble in your seat.
Mhm.
The footsteps of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, everything had impact to it, and it was just so great to have these like animals sound like real animals. You know,
Yeah,
it was just, I don't know, it was so cool, so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And he portrayed all these animals you know what's interesting? The dinosaur sequences were almost filmed like a nature documentary.
Yes,
They were almost filmed as if they were out in nature and like just filming these like breathtakingly stunning creatures, you know. And I like again, not just from a visual standpoint, but like you said, a sound design, like sound design, sound mixing. It's all just perfectly brought together in such a
yeah.
cool and awesome way. And you could feel some of I I think I'm gonna see this movie. I think I'm gonna see this movie in IMAX just so I can really get the full kind of scope of what this
Yep.
movie has of what this movie has to offer from like sound design and visuals and all that stuff. I can't wait to see this in IMAX. I really
I
can't.
just can't wait to watch it again. I
Oh,
am
same,
definitely
same.
abusing my Regal Unlimited account, and I am going to be watching it every other day.
Dude, I abuse it all the I've been a member for I've subscribed to the thing ever since movie theaters reopened from the pandemic,
Yep.
and it's the best thing it is literally the best thing I could have ever done was subscribe to that thing.
Sponsored
You
by Regal Crown Club. Subscribe now.
know? Yeah,
Sponsor us.
Regal, pay me, sponsor me, you greedy sons of bitches.
Well,
All right,
that's not how you get a sponsor. Damn.
all right. Let's wrap this up. Let's get into our overall thoughts and then a score out of 10. Robert, take it away.
Gareth Edwards, you madman. I don't know how you came in. You stepped up and you delivered one of the best in the franchise, and I cannot thank you enough. I've always been a diehard fan of yours. 9 out of 10. I'm gonna rewatch it so many more times. Wow. Damn. Definitely my second favorite in the entire franchise. Easily the best, right after the original.
Prey, Alien Romulus, Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yep.
What do all these three films have in common? They completely changed the narrative of how I felt about the franchise.
Yep.
Completely. I don't think I would have any interest in a Predator movie until I saw Prey. I'll be honest. I gave up on Alien after Alien
Covenant.
Coven shit. And then Romulus came out and it blew my mind. And now I am dying with anticipation for Fede Alvarez to get that sequel out. I
Yep.
mean, obviously, take your time. You don't want to rush out a sequel, because we know how that turns out. Michael Bay's Transformers. But I'm like dying with anticipation for the Alien Romulus sequel.
Yeah.
Universal, whatever money you need to throw at Gareth Edwards, whatever money you need to throw at David Kemp, Spielberg, please stay involved in the franchise.
Yeah.
Because you could feel that the combination of those three guys, Gareth Edwards, David Kemp, and Steven Spielberg, the combination of these three guys and what they were able to craft, I think is a movie that reinvigorated my love for this franchise.
I couldn't agree more.
When I saw this movie, I'm actually going to go back and rewatch the other films. I really am. Even the ones I don't like, even the crappy films that I don't like, I'm still going to go back and rewatch them because I'm now this movie has completely reinvigorated my love for the franchise. It's stunningly beautiful. It's visually stunning. The dinosaurs are absolute front and center. The human characters are, while not fully three-dimensional, they're interesting. They're not boring and they're not bland. I'm not sitting there going, I just want you to get just die, just get eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I don't care about you. I cared about some of the characters in this film. Is it a perfect movie? No. But I don't think I have ever walked out of a film. I was driving home. I was losing my fucking mind. I literally was like driving and I'm just constantly yelling out, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
No, this movie, you have to go watch in the theaters to understand what we're talking about. I had the biggest smile on my face, and I really can't wait to re-experience this when it comes out to theaters.
This is the first time I've said this about a Jurassic World movie in a long time. I cannot wait for whatever they do next with this franchise.
Yep.
Again, Universal, throw whatever money you need to throw at Gareth Edwards, throw whatever money you need to throw at David Koepp, get them back on board, and
Keep it going.
Write the next chapter.
Yep.
Because I could watch 4 more of these movies and just have a blast with it. My score is going to be the exact same as Rob's, a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Not a perfect film, but man, it's
close. It's right there.
It's very close.
Also, let's acknowledge our GOAT, Dolores. We love Dolores here. Oh, man.
I am not going to lie. A part of me was like, I think I'm going to stop by and start walking through the toy aisle again, just so I can see if they're going to sell Dolores. Because if they don't, that's a massive miss.
Oh, you already know they're going to have Dolores stuff.
I'll buy it in a heartbeat. I'll buy it in a freaking heartbeat. But that will do it for this non-spoilers review, guys. I think I am going to end up doing a spoilers review for this. I think I'm gonna do a spoilers review on this because I love this movie so much, and I'm taking Michael to see it, so I'm sure Michael's probably gonna want to do a spoilers review on it too.
Yeah.
So look out for that, guys. Rob, thank you so much for joining me on this special review.
Yes, sir. Thank you for letting me on.
Hopefully, you can come back again and be part of the show again.
Maybe something super might come up.
Oh yeah, something super. I wonder what that something super could be. I'll just tell you right now, Michael's probably going to be the biggest negative on that.
Oh, 100%. I doubt that. That movie looks so good, and I really believe in James Gunn. Wow, it's just this year has been an absolute roller coaster in terms of movies.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so glad to watch not only a Gareth Edwards movie, but a James Gunn movie this summer. Two of my favorite working directors right now.
And here's the thing I was actually telling a friend of mine about. I used to go to these movie mystery Monday things, and then I stopped going because I was just like, for the most part, all they would do is show straight streaming movies. And it just was like, why would you do that? Why can't you just go out and just be like, boom, we're going to show you Superman early. They don't do that, but we're going to show you Superman early, We're going to show you Fantastic Four First Steps early, And then I went a few weeks ago and saw The Life of Chuck.
Oh, wow.
Movie Mystery Monday. And Life of Chuck is my favorite movie of the year. The Life of Chuck is my favorite movie of the year. I mean, Mike Flanagan just proves he's one of the greatest storytellers.
I don't know Mike Flanagan did that movie. I'm going to have to check out that thing.
Yeah, he wrote and directed it. I think it's still in theaters. I think it is. Hopefully. I'm hoping it is. If it is, for the love of God, everyone go see that movie. It's great. And then I went into this again, not expecting really. I was not expecting. If you had told me that they were going to show Jurassic World, no, I wouldn't have even believed you. I swear I went in thinking that I was watching Megan 2.0, which I would have been cool with because I'm really excited for Megan 2.0.
Same here. I'm a Megan fan.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that movie. It looks so
Yeah.
fun.
But again, when this movie started, I was like, okay, here we go. Here we
Yep.
go. We're getting into it.
Yep.
And yeah, just
Yep.
fantastic. But
Go watch the movie, people. Go watch the
yeah,
movie. Go watch
absolutely
some
go watch the
dinosaurs.
movie. Absolutely go watch the movie. Because as Jeff Goldblum says, life indeed finds a way. That will do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I think I should subscribe to the channel because Zeke the Geek said so, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.